What's up, Beak Squad? David Burns. I'm pumped and excited to give you 5 tips on how you can avoid having wrong inspection techniques during the month of August. It's going to be a lot of fun for us today. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, you can inspect your hive the wrong time of the day and the wrong conditions.
Time is honey. I got to get out there and check them bees. It might be 8 o'clock, it's a thunderstorm, but I got to roll with it.
That's funny. Well, look, there is a time of the day, obviously, that's not going to be good. You don't want to do it at 8 o'clock at night, after dark, for example. Don't want to do it early in the morning while the bees are all home. Best time to do your bee inspection is usually between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The middle of the day. Think of it as the middle of the day. And that way the bees are busy. If there's still nectar flow in the month of August, they're out there gathering nectar. So we like to inspect our colonies when the bees are distracted from having all eyes on you, and they're more likely to be busy doing household duties and just, feeding larvae and gathering nectar, so that when you work them, they are a lot less defensive. Now, what about the condition, the weather? That's right. On a rainy day, it's really bad to inspect bees because everybody's home. They're kind of grouchy. They can't go out and have fun. We're the same way, aren't you? You're grouchy when you can't go out and do your activity that you're planning on because you got rained out. Bees are a little bit that way. So try to plan a time of the day when it's beautiful, like that low barometric pressure is not a good time to work bees, because that means it either is going to storm soon or it is storming. And so when the high pressure comes, we all like high pressure. Clear blue sky, the air feels fresh and clean, it's washed all the dust off of stuff. High barometric pressure is such a beautiful time. We all love to go outside. Bees are the same way. Everybody's happier in high pressure, high barometric pressure. So if your bees are a little gripey and you're having a hard time working your bees, maybe you're doing it the wrong time of the day and it's the wrong kind of weather conditions. Another wrong inspection is not using the right amount of smoke.
Man, I don't use no smoke. My bees are always, ow! My bees are always gentle. I don't need to, ow! Dagnabbit. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you got me there.
Sometimes people don't use the right amount of smoke. Now, it's hard to use too much smoke. I know some people are like, oh, it hurts the bees. You'll choke. They'll die. Well, bees really don't have lungs like we do. They have spiracles to help oxygenate their bodies. And what smoke does, it actually kind of blocks their ability to spread a lot of communication through their pheromones. So if they are a little more defensive, spreading alarm pheromones, talking to each other about you opening the box up, smoke is going to disperse their abilities to carry on that kind of communication, and they're going to be a lot calmer when you work your bees after you have smoked your bees. Always take a smoker. I love to use burlap, and it has a way of just being a very dense, cool smoke, and so it really helps my bees stay calm when I'm working them. In the month of August, friends, bees are all home. They're not foraging as much. There's a dearth usually, and it's hotter. More bees are crowded, and they're going to be a lot more defensive. So you're going to have to use more smoke than probably you're used to using. Don't be afraid of smoking your hive so that you can enjoy and do a thorough inspection in the month of August. Another wrong inspection in the month of August is the speed of the inspection.
Some people, they go slow as molasses. I say, you get that frame out of there, look at one side, look at the other side, put it down, go to the next one.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, look, you can really go way too fast. Rarely do I see anybody go way too slow when they're handling their bees and their frames. I'm not talking about the length and the hours that they have the hive open. I'm talking about your manipulation of the frames and your handling of the frames. That should really be as slow as you can do it. Your inspection should be as fast as you can inspect, very slowly and carefully, if that makes any sense. So when you pull a frame up, pull it up gently because you're exposing the bees to more light that they haven't been used to. The air is different now because the lid's off. They don't have the pheromones of the colony. They have all that fresh air being exposed. So go slowly to introduce them to the bright world since you've opened that hive. Learn to handle your frames very slowly. Another wrong inspection in the month of August is how long you hold the hive open. Really, any inspection shouldn't take much longer than 20-30 minutes at the most that you have your hive open. A lot of people make the mistake they are looking for too much at one time. I've said many times in my videos, have a goal to look at 1 or 2 things in your videos. Maybe you want to check to see, is the queen alive? Do I have eggs? That shouldn't take more than 20 minutes top. I always encourage people to go into your hive with 1 or 2 things in mind. Maybe you want to go in there and just look for your queen. It's not going to take 20 minutes. You may want to go in there and just see what your eggs look like. Is my queen laying well? Find a frame of eggs, see lots of eggs, I'm good, I'm out. People make the mistake by going in and wanting to see everything in one fell swoop. And I don't think that's a good idea in the month of August. I'm talking about August because in the month of August there's more robber bees. The longer that hive is open, the more bees are going to be attracted from other hives to your hive, and they are going to see that honey and they may go back to their hive and tell, hey, I got a hive open, let's go get it. Now, one of the ways that you can cut down on this is to actually put your top cover upside down, put your honey super on that upside down top cover, and have another extra lid to cover up your honey super. Another technique, this is going to be a special tip for you right here, but it's to use one of the burlap bags that I recommend that you use for your smoker fuel. And I recommend that you take that burlap and cover up all the frames on top that you're not looking at. Like if you're going to start over here against the wall out of 10 frames, burlap, roll the burlap to cover up 9 frames so robbers don't really have access or the smell isn't apparent. And then you can look at hives and roll it back as you go. That's a good technique for you to do, but try to minimize how long you have the hive open in the month of August. The 5th tip in the month of August is the wrong assumption.
Look at all them bees flying in and out. That one got pollen. Go need to check that hive.
Okay, so in the month of August, you can assume the wrong things. You can look at your front entrance board. You can make an assumption that everything's all right because the bees are coming and going, but it may not be the case. Don't assume what you see at the entrance giving you an indication of what's going on inside the hive. Please hear me thoroughly. Just because bees are going in and out, you see pollen going in and out, you still got to go in there and look for eggs, larvae, pupae, solid brood pattern, do a mite test. Really important in the month of August to evaluate everything because time's running out when you can correct these things that you might be able to see. Don't make assumptions during the month of August. Now, the 6th tip that I want to tell you about, it's a bonus tip actually, is about the use of this hive tool. Now, this hive tool in its current state does not serve me as well as it should. And I'm going to take this to the grinder in just a second and show you how I make this hive tool better. Before I do, guys, please subscribe, click on the bell, give me a thumbs up. It helps me so much. And we have live streams every Thursday night for you to ask me all the questions that come to mind so much. So do that. Live stream with me at 7 p.m. Central Time. Now let's go fix this hive tool on my grinder. First yellow hive tool that I've had in the J-hook family. But one of the things I wanted to tell you right off the bat is that this thickness of this little area here, I have trouble getting it to go down in between 2 frames. You can see it just is too thick. It won't go in between here. Plus, I think this can be thinned down too. Let's get to work. So the way I like this to work, I thin this out so that I can get that down in there. And now if I do that, this is going to separate them and then I can pull one up. I don't really want to pull them up together. I like the fatness there to separate it as it locks into that position there to pull this one up, if that makes sense. Now let's go ahead and thin this area here down. A lot of times this seems a little too thick. This would be my first time to experiment with thinning down this a little bit. I realize if I thin it, it's going to perhaps weaken it, but we're going to do a little test. Now I know that's kind of loud. The grinder is kind of loud. I know some of you are really into metal and you're probably thinking, oh, David, you shouldn't have done that. You ruined something. But I heard a couple of other people tell me at EAS how they're kind of like wishing that wasn't such a sharp from a point to the more solid piece. So I'm just kind of making it a little more gradual, a little more tapered, so this will fit in between my boxes a little bit more. But that's what I want to share with you guys on tip number 6 today. You might have a grinder or have a friend that's got a grinder. You might be able just to improve the thickness of, the thinness, I guess, of the hook here, so it fits between the frames a little better. And then make this taper a little bit more so it wedges and helps you separate two boxes more easily. Well, it is good to be back from EAS out in Massachusetts. Bobblehead David traveled out there with me. I didn't make as many videos or pictures of him because I was so busy. I do a lot. I spoke 3 times. I work on several committees, proctoring tests for Master Beekeeper candidates. So it was a busy time, but I loved it. I don't know how many people were there. I heard 700, 750. I don't know if that was accurate or if somebody just said that, but there was a lot of people there. And it was a lot of fun being reunited with some good friends of mine that we've been friends for so long now. What a great group of people. One person that I want to share is he shared his book with me that he wrote. Now this is actually written by 2 EAS certified master beekeepers, Phil Frank and then Frank Linton. They're both master beekeepers at EAS, and they put this book together. I'm not a paid promotion. They're not paying me to say this, but I'll leave a link in the description on my Amazon affiliate. So look at that. Pictures and post-it notes kind of telling you what you're seeing. Now, if you're somebody like I am sometimes, a big thick book with all letters and words, you know, no pictures, I'm not crazy about it. But if that's you, this might be the book you need to kind of get you into beekeeping or help you understand bees a little better, because a picture tells 1,000 words, right? Wow. So I told him I'd share this on my video. So check it out in the description below. 2 EAS certified master beekeepers, and Phil Frank just got certified at the last conference. So congratulations, Phil. And I sat next to him at the banquet, got to know him a little bit better. So that's a cool book if you guys are wanting to learn a little bit more. So that's exciting. Now, August is a tough month. I've got a whole bunch of tips for you. Check out this video right here. More tips in the month of August. See you over there.